we're back. Howdy y'all, this is Ethan Bonreal playing more Oracle of Seasons, and last time we were here, we made our way into the Poison Moth's lair and defeated the mini-boss of this dungeon, which was a trio of very cranky squid dude people things. And this time around, we need to turn our asses back around because I forgot to get the goddamn boss key. But after we get that boss key, we are going to go murder a boss and get our plot item that we've been looking for, the Essence of Nature, whatever the fuck they're called. So, this time around we're going to do that, and we're probably going to make our way to the Sunken City, which is going to be the fourth major area of the game, and the area that leads us to the fourth dungeon. But for now, we gotta focus on this shit, because I'm ready to be done here. I'm actually still a little bit pissed I could not beat this dungeon in one part. But that was really my own fault for forgetting what I was needing to do and not paying attention to the boss. But such is life. Anyway, we got the boss key. How y'all doing? I'm doing just fine and dandy. I am a little bit tired. It's 2 a.m. right now on the dot, and that is actually around my bedtime. I wake up around 10 for work, so I usually take, if I'm not sleepy, I usually take a ZZZ-Quil around 12, and then use that to get me ready to go to bed. But I'm fighting it a little bit, in part because I remembered I wanted to edit this video before I went to bed, so that's what I'm doing. But luckily, I've gotten a lot better at video editing, so it does not take me as much time on these. The coming out on top videos are always going to take like 1,000 years to do, but these, it's fairly easy to edit the audio on, because I can really say whatever the fuck I want, which is what I've been saying for 1,000 years about these, which is why I love them. But in addition to that, I've just been working a lot. I really hate my fucking job with all my being. I really hate retail. I hate helping people who are rude and mean. And I hate selling shit to people. I just don't like doing it. But I got to, because I got insurance to pay for, and gas to pay for, and food to pay for. And that is really where I'm at right now. What else have I been doing? Holy shit. I've been fairly sexually active lately. That's pretty neat, I guess. Actually, that's not necessarily true. It feels like I've been sexually active more than I usually have, but that's because I had a really long dry spell. Oh my god, please. I should probably say something about the giant moth that's in front of me that I'm trying to murder. So this is the boss of the third dungeon, the Poison Moth, aka Mothula. And when I was younger, this boss used to really freak me the fuck out, because it just moves so much and it moves so fast that I never really thought that I could just tank the hits and just swing my fucking sword at it the entire time and it would die before it killed me. But instead I would run around in circles and just die or get knocked into the pit and then rage quit. But we already beat it, because despite being really annoying and moving a lot, it does not have a lot of HP for what it does. And so, now we are going to get us one of these nature essence things. The bright sun, there we go. You got the bright sun, an essence of nature. Young shoots grow quickly under the warm rays of the bright sun. So we got our next plot item. We're ready to go to the next area. The Maku tree is probably about to page us in a second here. I don't remember if we have to walk out the dungeon or not. Yeah, it warps us out automatically. There we go. Alright, so the Maku tree is paging us here. Thank you, Bonreal. What was I doing? Shit, I was gonna say something funny, but I forgot. Anyway, I too feel the bright sun, but the powers of darkness do not weaken. Instead, they grow stronger. How can this be? Bonreal, let me teach you a thing. I dreamt of a waterfall on the mountain north city. Yeah, Sunken City. Perhaps the next essence is there. So the Maku tree has gotten a little bit more useful now that we've gotten the fourth essence or whatever. Basically, if you don't remember before, he was just like, I don't know what's going on, but something's happening at the school swamp or whatever, so you should probably go there. But now he's given us more precise locations, and you'll see as we get more essences of time, he'll be more precise with where exactly the fucking dungeons are, so we don't have to flail around worrying about it. But this is actually about where I plateau as a child, in Oracle of Seasons, like, I would just chronically get stuck in the area right after the Sunken City, because it involves some platforming that is not common in Zelda games, involving the purple flying bear animal friend, which, oh, not purple, he's blue, my bad. And I notably was not a strong button masher at that ripe young age. Oh, man. And that caused me a lot of grief, so I would just rage quit this game a lot. I don't remember what other games I had for Game Boy that I played often. I had Mario Land 2, which I could not deal with the platforming in that game. That was just way too fucking hard for my 13 or 14-year-old self to deal with. And I also had Mega Man 2, which I played, well, actually Mega Man 5, because the Game Boy Mega Man series, were different than the console Mega Man series. So Mega Man 5 for Game Boy was basically almost a remake of Mega Man 2, because it had several of the Mega Man 2 and 3 bosses in it. But y'all probably don't care about that right now. You're probably more worried about this game. And I'm gonna let you know, I think we're gonna make it to the Sunken City, but I'm gonna cut it. I'm not gonna make this video drag on 20 minutes like I did the last one, because I really am only worried about the dungeons going smoothly and quickly, just so we can get this LP over with. But we are gonna take care of some business here. Hey, it's Maple. Get wrecked. Here we go. So we're gonna go ahead and steal most of this with a spin attack, and then we're gonna take the rubies and fucking leave. See you, nerd. Bye, Maple. Ooh, man. I actually think they could have made Maple's encounters a little bit more interesting by varying the things she dropped. Although it would require this game to have a larger loot table. I think one of the things that, like, some of the Castlevania games do is they give you a bunch of little shit that's kind of useless. I think Ego Raptor even mentioned this, which is interesting. That they give you a bunch of useless little shit all the time, which is kind of what I would prefer from Zelda, because it's like, when you open a chest in, like, Wind Waker, like, you know 99% of the time it's gonna be, like, a Happy Joy pendant or whatever, or a bunch of rupees, which is, like, neat, but it's not very exciting. So it'd be neat to just see some random shit, even if it's, like, cosmetic, be dropped from chest occasionally, but I'm not the game designer. I'm going the wrong way. See, this is what happens when I talk and play too much. Let's get out of here. Shoot. Whew. So, I'm trying to remember what all I've been doing. It's been fucking raining a lot. It's pretty terrible. My job is really, really hot. It is like 85 degrees inside of my job sometimes, because our AC does not work. And people keep asking me if I'm getting paid extra for working while it's that hot in the store, and I just laugh at them. Well, I don't laugh. I internally laugh, and then I just say no, or shrug my shoulders. I also have a lot of problems, like making casual small talk with people, I've realized, which is interesting, because with people I'm familiar with, I seem very confident and assertive, but I'm actually really fucking awkward. In situations where I'm not free to be myself, which I think says a bit. I think that bit of nuance kind of explains a lot of the reasons I act the way I act. Hello, what is this? Love, Love the Seed. What a great song. Don't you agree? Yeah, I do love that seed. Here's a human I understand. Let me feel your satchel. What a creep. Back off, weirdo. But that's pretty useful, because you can come to this Deku scrub, and they will fill your seed satchel for you, despite the perversity that they are kind of implying with their dialogue. And that's neat to do sometimes, but right now, you can see this fucking bridge, Dimitri can't cross it, which makes no fucking sense, because he is literally a swimming dinosaur lizard monster, so he should be able to do whatever he wants. But it's basically to stop you from sequence breaking, because the way in Zelda games, or at least the 2D ones, they stop you from getting the areas they don't want you to get to is by just putting water there. But when you have a giant swimming dragon monster, hey, it's the Great Moblin. When you have a giant swimming dragon monster that allows you to swim, sometimes you can access areas earlier than they want you to, so they have to put arbitrary boundaries to stop him from crossing it to keep you out. And that's just dandy, I don't give a fuck, but it's just very silly to see my giant dinosaur not be able to cross a bridge. But such is life. Anyway, we've made it to the Sunken City. Oh, can you piss off, Great Moblin? So we're gonna deal with this fucker later, but for now, we're gonna make it to the Sunken City, which is pretty dandy. There we go. The whole city's flooded, but since I can't swim, I'm just here blowing bubbles. I know how you feel, kid. I actually think that child's sprite is really fucking adorable. I really think that's really cute that it's actually blowing a little bit of a bubble. But anyway, let's go ahead and go inside there and talk to this person. Oops, there we go. Legends say some sort of treasure sleeps on the summit. It's a boy's dream. I think about it so much I can't sleep. Okay. So this is kind of awkward. I don't know, I just don't know how I feel about, like, this habit of, like, in Zelda games, you just walk into people's houses and they just tell you such random shit. Like, this guy has literally been waiting his entire life for me to walk into that house so he can talk about his fucking creepy-ass dreams. And, I mean, Link doesn't even speak, so it's like, you go in there, Link just looks at him, he starts talking at you, and then Link just leaves without saying anything. Maybe he'll, like, break some of your pots and steal your shit, but I don't know, it just seems very awkward to me. Hey, we got the Gale Seeds. I feel like this commentary has been kind of boring, but, you know, you gotta get into it. Sometimes parts gotta be boring. And I didn't actually write, like, a script. So, if you're looking for insight to my video process, I actually take notes, usually, before I... Hey, it's Clayman B, what the fuck? What are you doing over there? Anyway, I take notes before I actually do my videos. That way I can kind of have, like, a consistent flow of the things I need to remember to do. Because, as you might have seen in Oracle of Ages, I got fucking lost all the time, and I forgot what I was doing pretty consistently, so I try to avoid that by taking notes that help direct me and stuff. And it also helps me remember what talking points I want to have. Sometimes when I'm at work, I'll just write down, this is something neat I thought about, and I should talk about in a video. But I don't actually, like, use a script or anything. And, I probably should have been actually reading through the dialogue that I was skipping through, but we'll worry about that later, because I actually need to end the video now, so I'll catch y'all later, thanks, and bye.